Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining. My name is Cesar Rivas. I'm the National Sales Executive for Sound POS with Sound Payments. For this month, if you've been on any of these sessions before, it's last Wednesday of every month. I'd like to choose a specific type of a retailer. Okay, will vary kind of from month to month. And then we'll go ahead and do a half-hour workshop where the first 15 minutes of the workshop is really where you'll see the new material. I'll talk about maybe some features that will apply specifically to that merchant, or maybe not. Now, maybe it'll apply across different verticals. And then the second half of the session, the last 15 minutes, is pretty much kind of a quick sales pitch. So if you've been in any of these sessions in the past, you know that really the first 15 minutes we're going to see some new material, and then you can drop off if you've seen the last 15 minutes before. These sessions are recorded and are posted on our YouTube channel, Sound Payments. So feel free to stop by and check out the ones that we did last year. We've done some this year as well. This is actually our fifth session this year. Okay. Now for today's session, we're going to do something a little bit different in the sense that last month we kind of covered this contents, but because it is so relevant, important, and there's some other piece of information that I want to share with you guys today, we're kind of going to go over it again. And it's really about the cash discounting, dual pricing. Last month, really, I focused on cash discounting, but today I want to talk about both cash discounting and non-cash discount, or non-cash adjustment, rather, I should say, which would be the markup, right? As we know, the difference between the two of them is basically, with the cash discounting, if you pay cash, you're gonna get a discount based on whatever you purchase if you pay on cash. But with the non-cash adjustment, if you pay with a credit card, you're gonna pay an additional fee than what the regular price would be. Pretty much that's the difference, right? So Visa requirements really apply to the latter, to the one where the credit card holder is going to get sort of penalized, to say, for using their credit card, right? A couple of the requirements that Visa has is, number one is you can only limit that markup to the 3%. Okay, that's the max that you can charge, right? The second thing is that all of the items on the shelves have to display both the cash price and the credit card price, right? And then of course, you have to display this poster that Visa gives you, and then the terminal itself has to display also the dual pricing as things are being rung up, and then your receipt needs to say that there was a fee, so to speak, has to kind of separate the fee that was charged for using the credit card. All right, so that's really the one that Visa kind of has some authority over. Okay, where they can, maybe if merchants are charging something that's exorbitant, or maybe they're not complying with these rules about having the dual pricing displayed on the shelves, having the poster, having the dual pricing on the POS, and then having the actual separate fee displayed on the receipt. If they don't comply with that stuff, then Visa can come down and do anything from fine the establishment to suspend their ability to receive the Visa credit card payments. Okay. Now on the cash discount side, though, pretty much you can do anything you want. So what we've seen is the majority of resellers are going on the cash discounting side. Now we kind of decided to play on the cautious side, and we're still going to display dual pricing even when it is cash discounting, even though it's not a requirement. But we just want to play a little bit on the caution side. All right. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the non-cash discount. I'm going to go ahead and log into my my web portal here. Okay, this is my demo web portal for all of the stores that I work with, right? And we're going to be using a taco store today, right? So right now, this taco store, and remember, I'm on the reseller web portal. They already do have the cash discount activated for 4.5%. Okay, so we're going to switch over so you can see the terminal itself. Okay, let me go ahead and log into my Pack Store demo account here. All right, and then go ahead and activate the screen on my terminal. I'm using an A920, so it's kind of one of these portable terminals here. Okay, A920 Pro, and let me activate it so you guys can see the screen. Okay. All right, bear with me 1 second, get the acceptance on this side here, and then you'll be able to see the screen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in a little bit so that you can see it a little bit bigger. It may look a bit blurry, but you should be able to see it better if I zoom in and I leave it small. Okay. All right. So right now I've got 4.5% on the cash discounting side, right? So if I go to sales, like I said, even though this is cash discounting and we're not required to display dual pricing, we still do display the dual pricing. Okay. So obviously the price on the top would be, your regular price and then your discounted price if you use cash at the bottom. Okay. So if I order something on here, I'm going to order the combo number 3. I'm going to order carne asada. I'm going to order Sprite. I'm done with that. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and pay. Okay. Well, first of all, let me show you something before I pay. This is the A920, so it doesn't have a customer-facing screen. It has a single screen. But if you're using any of the countertop units like the E700 or the E800, the customer is going to see something like this on their side of the screen. They're going to see the combo. They're going to see the dual pricing on here. Again, we're using cash discounting, which Visa has no authority over, or they're not influencing in any way. But we're playing it on the cautious side, and we want to make sure that we just display dual pricing even when it is a cash discount. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pay, right? With cash over here. Okay. And obviously I'm going to be paying the lower price. Okay. I'm not going to go ahead and send the receipt or anything like that. Okay. Now, if we want to go ahead and activate the cash adjustment, non-cash adjustment, which would be right here. Okay. Like I said, our system's going to limit it to 3%. Okay. And then you can actually change whatever you'd like. You can put, credit card fee over here, whatever you want. That's what's going to print out on the actual receipt. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and save and close. I'm going to go back to my terminal. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and sync it so that instead of having the cash discount, the non-cash adjustment takes effect. I'll go to settings, go to cloud, and I'll sync. Okay. All right. And now, instead of having, the non-cash adjustment, instead of having the cash discount at 5%, now we're going to have non-cash adjustments. So, your price is going to look a little bit different, right? All right. So this is still the older version, but it's going to show the dual pricing on here. All right. I'm still running the old version. I have not been able to download the new one yet. All right. So it's going to look the same way. So one thing that I did want to mention, though, is for the cash discounting, for the non-cash adjustment, you don't increase the prices, or the merchant's not going to be increasing the prices, right? Because those prices are supposed to already, be the regular price, and you're going to charge something on top of that when you use a credit card. But for non-cash adjustment, you will need to increase the price, because when somebody pays with cash, right, you're going to be giving them a discount. So there's a feature that we have on the POS itself that we built to be able to make a change in the pricing for the whole inventory, so that if the merchant does decide to utilize the non-cash adjustments, they can very easily change the pricing. If they're going to be charging, like in this case, 4.5% or discounting, I should say, 4.5% when somebody pays with cash, then you want to make sure you're increasing your whole inventory, right? And for that, you would use this function called global price change, where you can choose to increase the price for all items by percentage. You can adjust the price by percentage here. Okay. And then you can put on here, 4.5%. Okay. And that's going to increase your pricing for everything by 4.5%. It's that easy. So again, cash discount seems to be the preferred method in terms of, for those merchants who don't want to pay any interchange fees. And if they are going to use that, they're going to have to modify the pricing for the whole inventory. Okay, so we go to sales now. The item that used to cost $17 now it costs $17.77 because we just added that 4.5%. All right. All right. So with that, kind of covered your dual pricing, non-cash adjustment, cash discount. Just one more thing I wanted to discuss before we go into the second segment of this presentation, which is kind of the sales presentation itself, is that we're going to be adding a new feature onto our POS. Now, this is a feature that's going to be it's going to come at an additional price because it is a little bit costly, but it does generate save time and maybe even generate some revenue for your merchants, which is our feature for tobacco reporting. Okay, if you know. I don't know if you're familiar with tobacco reporting, but for any of those retailers that sell cigarettes, tobacco, they actually get some rebates they can receive from the manufacturers, and you know it can be a little cumbersome, kind of filling out all the information and so forth that they need in order to receive those rebates. So we're adding this new feature, which again will come at an additional price because not everybody's going to need it anyway. That will actually allow the merchant through the usage of the POS to be able to do the tobacco reporting and receive the rebates in a much easier manner. All right, so we should have that feature available for the Retail Now show that starts next week in Orlando. Leave Monday what's that, the first? No, Monday the 31st is the first day of Retail Now in Orlando. And then we're going to be able to demo that feature there. In case you're interested, you can stop by our booth and take a look at it. All right. Let me see if there are any other questions here. All right. No other questions. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and shift gears over here. We're going to move over to the sales presentation, so to speak. All right. Which is, again, if you've seen it before, it's kind of the same thing. But this is my quick sales pitch, so to speak. All right. So as you know, our company, Sound Payments, is a company that develops technology for the payment services industry and or the payment processing industry. And we're not an ISO, a gateway, or a processor. So we only focus on developing the technology and providing you with the tools to help your merchants run their business. So, the idea is that we develop everything in-house. We're not a reseller or anything like that from many other companies. We have our own developing team and everything. We're located out of Jacksonville, Florida. We got also an office in St. Pete outside of Tampa. And we also have a couple of offices overseas where we do have some developers overseas as well. Work right now in terms of hardware with PAX. We work with other technology partners like CDE and things like that. But we're looking to expand also the hardware offering so that our POS can run on other types of units as well. All right, so it is a cloud-based POS. I tell you, I mean, it's very adaptable to different kinds of businesses, and really has all these features. These are just some of the features that I usually like to mention, like inventory, being able to track inventory in various ways, and having a template, an Excel template in order to upload your initial inventory easily. You're able to restrict access to different functions to the employees that are very detailed level. And you also can keep track of your employee hours worked and export that in Excel format. You also have a customers database where you can keep track of their information from name, email address, and all that stuff, even a photograph if you like. And it has two features built in where the merchant can provide store credit to customers individually. And the merchant can choose, what the limit is and how the customer is going to pay it back. And it keeps track of that history separate from their other purchases. And also has a second feature built in, which is a loyalty program based on points. So, the merchant can kind of customize how many points are generated per purchase and how many points are required for a purchase, so they can kind of control that ratio as well. The system itself has, unlimited sales tax rates, which you can combine into unlimited sales tax categories. And these are all assigned at the individual product level. So you can have different products that have a different sales tax category applied. Because it is a cloud-based POS system, it's constantly synchronizing with the cloud. Now, the data is stored locally on the terminals themselves as well. So, you've got all your prices and your products and all that stuff on the terminal. All right, but it synchronizes with the cloud as far as your inventory updates, sales, and things like that. And then, of course, if you've got multiple terminals, they'll talk to each other at the same location, so you can update again inventory, things like that. And the other advantage, of course, is if a terminal were to go down, it's very easy to replace because everything is, again, backed up on the cloud. The system does come with a web portal for both the reseller, you got to manage their relationships, as well as for the merchant. So the merchant can do almost anything they would do on the terminal, with the exception of maybe running a sale and a couple of other things. But it makes it a lot easier to kind of set things up, and then they can really manage their store remotely on a computer, on a tablet, even on a smartphone. And then you've got a various a number of reports. You got some reports that are specific for the terminals themselves. They all come with a built-in printer. And then you got some reports that are online on the web portal. And these are like Excel and PDF type reports, and you can customize what kind of data you want to pull. It is certified for all major processors. So, we work with pretty much any, First Data, TSYS, Elevon, whatever you'd like. And because it's cloud-based, you're able to do a real-time monitoring. All right, let me see. We got a question over here. A percentage cap on the dual pricing. Again, dual pricing is just, it shows you the two prices, right? But it applies to both the markup and the discount. Okay, there's only a cap for the markup, which is 3%, which is what Visa had imposed. There's no cap for the discount, the cash discount. But again, we're using dual pricing for both. We're displaying dual pricing for both the cash discount and the markup. All right. The other thing I wanted to mention about our system is that, any firmware updates or anything like that can be done remotely. Even the installation, the actual implementation, you can send the terminal without any software loaded to the merchant, and as long as they can connect it to the internet, you'll be able to implement all the software and so forth. We don't do like automatic updates. We'll alert you whenever there's an update, but a lot of our resellers want to test the updates before they actually implement it to their users. Now, because it's a PAX device, there's a PAX store, and there's a way that you can do like a mass update for your firmware and your software. PAX gives you like twice a week these classes that are for free and show you how to create those group of terminals and so forth, right? But everything can be done remotely, and we provide support that is also done remotely, of course. Now, in terms of the actual screens, on the left-hand side, you can see the actual POS on the terminals. The one on the top would be for the A920, which is the portable unit. That one is in portrait mode. And then the one on the bottom is for like your countertop units, like the E700 and the E800. And then on the right-hand side, you can see the web portal. The one on the top is displayed on a computer, and the one on the bottom is displayed on a smartphone. As far as the devices, they run on Android. Even the countertop units have a backup device, a battery, like maybe for 10 or 15 minutes. Of course, the A920, which is a portable unit, can do like 24-hour standby and 2 hours of running. They all have cameras which can be used for code scanning. You can attach, for the countertop units, for example, you can attach if you want a laser scanner as well, and you can connect also a cash drawer. And all units work with network printers, so you can use a kitchen printer as long as they're Epson printing protocols. They should work. All right. The ones on the countertop do have dual terminal screens, and it's a kind of a all-in-one unit. I think I showed you one here. It's kind of an all-in-one unit. This is for the E700, which has this is the employee-facing screen, and then here you can see on this side that it's got a screen for the customer. Okay, if the customer needs a setup where they don't want an attached payment terminal, they want something detached. It also works with the Aris 8 and the A35, all right, where you can activate those and deactivate the terminal that's attached. Okay, they work with, of course, Ethernet, the countertop units, and then Wi-Fi, all the units. And then also you can use a SIM card. Now, for the countertop units, you'd have to let us know if you need a SIM card one, because some models come without the SIM card port. Like I said, it's very adaptable. It's almost any industry. But I would say for the food industry, the only restriction is full service restaurants. We don't offer an ability to do like reservations, things like that, nor do we offer the ability to create a dining room, layout as far as, what tables are available, which are not. But it does work in the food industry. If you got quick serve, fast food trucks, especially food trucks, it works really well because it can even keep track of inventory by ingredients. Also, storefront is really good, like a butcher, ice cream parlor. We're in the process right now of integrating a couple of different kinds of scales as well, so to work with that. And then in the retail space, I got to tell you, it's really adaptable to almost any type of a retail establishment. Even though it gives the impression it's a small little POS. No, it can really hold. We've got some establishments that have 25,000 SKUs, and they work great with that. All right. We do provide 24/7 merchant support. We have a website, which is kind of a knowledge base, Sound Hub, only for the resellers. And, you've got like user guides you can share with customers and things like that. We do also provide training for the merchants if they'd like. It does come at a cost, but it is available as well. Of course, any updates and things like that are provided. And we do also have advanced level support for you, the reseller. And of course, anything that level 1 support cannot resolve for the merchant will be automatically escalated to our advanced level support. And I have to tell, our implementation team is very, very experienced. So with that, really ending a little bit early today. Let me see if we've got any other questions here. Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Again, my name is Cesar Rivas. I'm the National Sales Executive. You got my email address there on the screen. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. I'll be more than happy to respond. And if you want to see any of the previous sessions, just go to our YouTube channel, Sound Payments, and you'll be able to enjoy some of the past sessions. All right. So again, thank you everybody for joining, and have a great day.